All right, we're live. Okay.
Oh, we are live. I saw you do the hair fix. There's no hope for me.
I actually showered and I'm wearing makeup.
Look what I have on.
Oh, I should. I can. Yeah.
When I went upstairs this morning, my daughter said, "Oh my gosh, I love that wycwyc."
Yeah,
I was like, now I want every shirt. Do you like it or do you want it bigger?
We could make it bigger. I mean, it looks bigger on my. I don't know if I have it handy in my room, but I have the big baggy long sleeve, and it looks bigger on mine. But I think it's just the nature of the shirt because I didn't change the size. I just uploaded the logo and threw it on both shirts. But for some reason, it looks smaller on yours and not mine.
I kind of like it. It's subtle, but I love it.
I like it. Yeah, I do too. What was I going to say? Oh, what are we on? Episode 5?
Episode 5, season
I have
1.
to put that in the title. And I just called this one Excuses, Excuses, Excuses because I feel like what I want to talk about and what you want to talk about is excuses, but from different angles. So it's kind of, and I realize that's going to probably be the thread of everything we talk about. So, yeah. And then I have wycwycer of the week here.
Yes, perfect.
But then we also have to talk about our comic too.
I know. Should we lead off with that? I think we do because it gave me my mojo.
It did. Okay, yeah, and then you can lead with that, and then I'm going to bring up the food journaling thing. Which did you read my post, or you're going to come in blind? Which is
I'm coming in blind.
Great, that's perfect.
That I pulled it up, and I was like, oh, can't read it. I don't.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
I kind of like that.
So do I. That's why I didn't ask. And then you can come back, and then I can come with the
wycwycer of the week.
The wycwycer of the week. Okay, great. All right.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. It is 3:02, so we're gonna mark our time so that way because.
32.
Yeah, we were short last week, actually, I think.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was
so I was like, that's cool. All right, no, I mean,
I was like 1 minute. Apparently we did not. I had more. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, ready?
I am ready.
Okay, welcome this week to the wycwyc podcast. We're back.
We are back, and if you're watching the video, you can see that we are so smiling. We're going to skip. We like to start off with catch up, what's happening in our lives, but Ronnie called me before we even started recording and said, oh my gosh, go to Twitter. Oh my gosh, go to Twitter and tell them why, because it's totally making me smile.
There was totally a comic, and it was me with my little short blonde hair and you with your glasses, and we were just screaming wycwyc.
I know, and the shirt with the skull and crossbones.
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, and trying to be athletic. That's her, yes? Do you have the URL so we can share that?
I
think it's TRI-ING, to be athletic.
Yes, and I don't have, her Twitter account is, trying athlete. So it's TRIINGATHLETE. And I feel like, I don't know, we have a comic. It's like, I'm
That's
like a
a
comic.
nice thing someone has done for me, and like, it was like such a surprise that stuff like that never happens. So I've got nothing to catch up and share because that totally...
No, it totally made me smile to see us in comic form. I feel like
we've made it.
Yes, yeah. I was like, I feel like a little like mini blog celebrity. It just made my day.
And for me, it is so much the like, wow, seriously, you're thinking about wycwyc and us when we're not there lording over you with our podcast? That makes me smile.
It does. You know, it made me smile. Somebody else put on Facebook today that we should do a daily because they cleaned out all their magazines. Who was that? They were listening to us and they cleaned out all their magazines. And I thought, yes, I want us to be kind of, I don't know, the inspiration that people like clean out their closets or go for a walk or start eating healthier. Like it totally makes my day. Nice.
I was trying to explain it to the child yesterday. We were walking the dog. She was having none of it. She didn't care. But I said, you know how we're walking the dog and you love Pandora to listen to music? I said, some people listen to podcasts. I had already lost her at that point. But I'm like, I think maybe some people listen to like Mommy and Ronnie's podcast when they walk the dog or they're cleaning.
Did it blow her mind?
No, I couldn't get her excited about it. She was like, anyway, back to Pandora. Is there some Meghan Trainor I could listen to?
That's so funny. I wonder often, Ryan hasn't talked about it in a while, but sometimes I feel like when I explain to him what I do, it's very hard to explain what you do to your child when you're kind of a self-employed blogger, event coordinator. It's like I don't say, hey, I'm a doctor and I go to work every day. Yes. So I always used to explain it when he was younger. I was like, well, I try to inspire people to like be healthier and eat healthier and lose weight if they want to lose weight, reach their goals. And I'm like, I kind of made that my job. And he always kind of looked at me with like this glossed over look on his eyes. He's like, yes. Okay. But I think as he gets older, he's getting it because I volunteer more in school and I volunteer at Fit Club and I'm like So it's like my whole persona, but yeah,
Oh,
it's
mine is all
fascinating.
about the book because she can touch that. She's like, the podcast, I cannot touch, lady. I do not care. I don't have an iTunes account.
Right. Oh, well,
Only available on iTunes.
my son's friend did find my YouTube channel, and then I heard them giggling on Skype. They're like, "Your mom has a
Oh my
YouTube channel," and I
gosh.
thought, "Oh, here we go. We're entering like the next stage of
It
like
is the next stage. We're not there
awareness."
yet.
Yeah,
Yes.
very exciting for us. For me, I actually find it exciting that my son is like embracing Skype and using social media, and he's on YouTube, but he follows all these YouTube people. They have millions of followers, and they're like all these walkthroughs for Minecraft, and I think, gosh, it's like a whole, he's in his own like niche, like his own little group, just like we are, and I just think it's great that people find, I don't know, these similarities with each other, and these little communities pop up all over. It's just great.
Okay, talk about family. I didn't read the post, but I know that your
Yes.
first thing
Okay.
is family centric. And you said that I may or may not. Yes, you said it might
Yes,
be
this will
me,
be
might not be. I
interesting.
can't wait to hear.
Okay, so the theme through our entire podcast this week is going to be excuses. So we're going to hit different excuses. So last night I was talking to the husband, and I started food journaling again, which is something that I dabble in and out of depending on my mood or what my goals are currently. So right now I'm on this protein kick. I really just want to get a sense of how much protein I'm taking in on a day because I
Yeah, I
do a
saw
lot.
your post about
Yeah,
that. Like how much or how little, or
yeah,
you
I
like,
was
I
like,
just
I
don't even know.
really, the guys at the gym were talking about protein, and I'm like, gosh, I have no idea how much protein. I'm just assuming I'm well because I'm a meat eater, and so I eat a lot of meat, and I go, but let me do a food journal for a few days and check it out. So my husband, a few weeks ago, started a food journal because he set a goal to lose 25 pounds this year. And I thought it first of all blew my mind that he was with MyFitnessPal out at the restaurant, like entering, like it's surreal. It
My
was
husband
surreal for
asked
me.
me once, "Do you know MyFitnessPal? Do you know any of these things? I want to start food journaling." And I just, it was like disconnect. I couldn't imagine that happening. It
Yeah,
just,
it was really, I mean, because it's, when you know someone so well and it's so about
yes,
their personality,
you
like,
pigeonhole them. You see them how you've always
yes,
seen them.
that's
Now
so
back
true.
to him deciding about the
So
weight loss. Did he tell you that January 1st, or
he
is this
did,
just
yeah. So he's been putting on, he has, without making this all about him, he has quit a couple other bad habits and then kind of replaced them with food these last few months to a year. And so therefore he put on a little bit more weight. And he's very, stereotypical masculine when it comes to his weight. He doesn't hold the same emotional baggage as like I do. Like it's the end of the world if I put on 10 pounds. He's like, oh,
yeah.
my pants are a little tight. Oh well. Like he just like it's
Mine will just buy new pants and it's not a
yeah, it's
thing.
not
It's
that
like,
big
oh,
of a
okay.
deal. Yeah, it's really funny. So, but yeah, he set the goal and he started food journaling. And the first few days he did it, it was really eye-opening for him. And I can see he was like, wow, I didn't realize how much calories I was consuming in soda, which is something I've been trying to tell him for a long time. Um,
And here it was smoothies. I will never forget. It was
oh,
that
like a
big smoothie
seven
thing.
hundred calorie smoothie. Like,
Minimum. It might have been more than that. It was like the peanut moo cow, whatever it was. And he was like, oh my gosh, it's like 1,600 calories.
yeah,
And
it's
I was
eye.
drinking it.
So last night I told him, hey, I'm keeping my fitness pal again for a few days. Why don't we be friends so we can see each other's food journals? And he goes, oh, I stopped doing it. I said, oh, why did you stop? I thought you were still doing
Interesting.
it. And he said, well, it's not, it just wasn't that accurate. So I figured, what's the point? And my jaw must have hit. I was like, are you kidding? I'm like, this is the advice I give everyone on my blog. I'm like, does it really matter that it's that
What?
accurate?
Yes. And what we talked about with and when the first time you said it to me, I thought, oh, people think that. And now I see it everywhere. Crap. Are we allowed to swear? Crap. I forgot my pedometer, my wearable.
Yeah.
Those steps, that walk doesn't even count. I'm like, seriously, no, you
Yes,
did them.
no,
And
it
they're
does
not
count.
really kidding.
Right. No, they're not. I think people
No.
really. So he was fair. And it's funny because I used to think the same way. And like, so one day we were at a restaurant, and he was trying to enter in, and they didn't have that restaurant. I'm like, well, of course they're not going to have that restaurant. It's like a local chain, it's not a national chain. I said, just find a similar restaurant and just put in a similar dish. And he's like, no, 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 that's not. I need to know how. I go, you don't really need to know. You
Interesting.
just need to estimate. I said, because in my opinion, once I adopted the philosophy that the food journal wasn't about the details, but more the awareness and the
And for me, it was tracking
accountability.
patterns.
Yes. So I said, so be honest. Are you using the fact that you can't be accurate as an excuse just not to do it? And he was
Okay,
kind of
wait, I
like,
got to ask you before you go on, was it a it's not in here. So screw it. I'm going to order something different too. Was it like throwing away the day or no?
No, he doesn't do, I don't think he necessarily, well, no, that's not true. He does do kind of that mentality of, oh, screw it, I already had ice cream, I might as well.
Right. So it wasn't
Yeah,
that. It was more I can't record it, so
but
I
this
quit.
was more of a, why bother food journaling if I'm not going to get an accurate account of my calories anyway, or that everything I'm going to eat's not going to be in there anyway. So it was very
Yeah.
classic perfection. If I can't
Yes,
make my
yes,
food
yes, yes.
journal perfect,
Perfect.
have every calorie perfectly accounted for, then why bother? I'm not going to bother with it. And I was trying to explain to him that in my opinion, the food journal for people who are trying to lose weight, you have to almost think about it more than the calorie, that it's more of an accountability and a consciousness and an awareness so that you have
Is
to
that?
pause and say, do I
Yes,
really want to eat this cupcake, which is approximately 500 calories
yes.
or whatever? And I'm like, if it's 420 calories or 650, does it really matter? No, you're pausing and you're deciding whether or not you want to eat that. And that's the power of the food journal. So it was just an interesting, for me anyway, as someone who struggled with this in the past, it's been interesting to see that almost anyone can kind of fall prey to that mentality, even people that you think wouldn't have it. Do you know what I mean?
I
I don't,
do, and it's like that blessing and the curse of the wearables, the apps. Like I clearly remember when I was in college and I had such a good time. And I
so did I.
definitely needed to lose some weight. I had a bunch of interview suits and none of them fit, and I was super poor and I was not buying new suits. So it's like, oh, okay, I really have no idea what I'm eating. I'm just kind of living. So I remember taking a piece of notebook paper and taping it up to the closet. I didn't even bother with the calories, but and I actually don't think I was even changing it. I was like, get up, have pizza from just recording what I was doing so I had a sense of
Right.
what it was. And I almost look back at that and think that was better because I just wrote it down. I didn't even look at the calories, but it gave me, I could step back and see, oh, this is what I'm doing. I do not like how I feel. And in the reverse, like when I competed at bodybuilding, I would keep a food journal, not calories, because I wasn't that organized or type A, but just a very basic what I ate. So I know if I did do really well in the show or felt really great or whatever it was, I had something to look back at, but it was all old school paper. And
Yeah,
there were
and
fewer
that's usually
excuses.
that's what I find. Like I always advise people. I was like, even if you don't like it, because I think some people get like in his situation, if he kept it just on paper and didn't
He
try
could
to
have
use an
jotted it
app,
down.
he would have just
Yeah.
continuously jotted down because he wouldn't have it. But because we have almost too much at our fingertips all the time, like even me, like I really only wanted to track protein these couple of days. But here I'm in my Fitness Pal, so I'm getting calories and fat and carbs and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking I was like, I don't, and I'm trying not to look at calories and this because I'm like, no, I'm still eating intuitively. It is what it is. I just kind of want to get a sense of my protein take. But it's hard not to kind of get lost in, I don't know, all these details all the time and then use those details
Because
as
they're
a
there. Yeah.
stop, which is kind of the opposite of what should be happening.
I actually can really imagine that too. And I'm so, to my chagrin, far from the perfectionist mindset, but I could see getting so organized. My Fitness Pal, everything's in there. And then I'm at this restaurant and I can't put it in
Yep, and it's a dead stop. Like, oh well, this restaurant's in here. I guess I'll just not food journal for the next 6 months.
for the
Like,
rest of my life. Yes.
yeah, yeah. And I think, and I mean, same thing like your example with the pedometer. People, I know people too. They're like, well, like I had someone ask me about the accuracy of the Fitbit with CrossFit because I CrossFit every day, and my answer was frankly, I don't care what it.
That's what I know.
I was
With
like, I
men, I
don't
get the same
care.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing it so it gives me permission to eat more or tells me I've earned more calories, or I said I'm doing it to make sure it nudges me to move more. And so does it really matter if it doesn't track, weight training or if it doesn't track the stairs correctly or if the miles don't match the miles I think I ran? Like it doesn't matter. I'm like, is it making me get my butt off the chair every few hours and go for a walk? Then it's doing its
And it
job.
really, I'm super excited. I just signed a new contract with a new fitness wearable that is coming on the market. And as much as
Exciting.
I'm really excited, for me, it's really the weight of the thing on my wrist. Like I have one on my other wrist, but it would be the same as some kind of bracelet that is like symbolizes, okay, get up. For me, I barely ever check it, but just feeling it here, I'm like, oh, I did want to walk more. So I don't care if it doesn't count, like the elliptical. I don't think most of these count.
Yeah,
Or
because you're not
yes, it's
bouncing.
just a reminder. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, well, I think people who need an excuse find an excuse,
Oh, that's the perfect
which
segue.
kind
Yeah.
of good transitions, I think, into your post this week. Yeah,
Yes.
which is
And I
really
remember you
important.
said that because I email you 80 times a day. And I remember thinking, okay, this is my experience. Okay, let me back up super fast. Okay, so what you can, when you can, makes so much sense to us and to so many out there in the community because it means no matter what we're doing, it's enough. It's a tiny step forward. And as long as we're shuffling forward every single day, go to bed, get up, shuffle forward again, we are eventually going to see big changes. But then the hiccup kind of comes when you stay in place, but it's a choice. So I'm always thinking, because I don't belong to a gym, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm going to walk all the way upstairs. I need to go outside and get the mail. I'm going to walk the long way around because I want to add steps because that's my workout. So fitting and fitness is the backdrop of my day. So the other day I was like, oh, I want coffee. Starbucks is kind of close. I really could walk, but I drove and I went up there and I bought the coffee and I just sat. I didn't move. I didn't fidget. I sat at the closest table to the counter, didn't fit in anything. And I put this in my blog post, but because I'm a huge goob, and I didn't Instagram it in the moment, I was proud of myself. I wrote just hashtag WYC on there because it really hit me in the moment that wycwyc wasn't giving me an excuse, oh, I don't feel like doing anything today. What I can, when I can. It was much more providing me an opportunity for acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like an excuse. I thought, in this moment, it was a choice. I was choosing not to do anything. I was choosing to kind of tread water or stay in place, not achieve any big goals for that day. And at that opportunity to make the choice, I either could greet my choice with, I feel bad about myself. I feel guilty for not working out. Or I could just recognize it for what it was, neither good nor bad. It was a choice, and meet it with self-acceptance or self-love or
Right.
whatever you want to call it.
You can own it. That's what I said. I think sometimes we are so hard on ourselves, like, if there's a day, like I haven't been running lately. I haven't been in the mood to run. I don't really feel like running. It's cold and bitter outside. And there have been times where I wanted to put, like last year, I think I was trying a mile a day or something because I like to give myself kind of these little goals that keep me going. And I would try to go outside. I would bundle all up and put the scarf on and the hat and the gloves, and I would do my little mile, and I would feel all smitten with myself. But right now, it's not what I want to do, and it's almost like you have to give yourself permission to just be okay, not constantly pushing yourself forward and forward, and go, you know what? I'm not. I don't need to do this right now. I don't have.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just
And it's that staying in place for a few beats. I saw this when I was a trainer, that I had clients who lost a lot of weight and they would often gain it back. But the clients who lost a lot of weight and then just held steady, they still had maybe 50 or 60 more pounds to lose that they wanted to lose, but they just maintained for like 3 or 4 months and stayed where they were. That's okay too. That in and
yeah.
of itself is a victory.
Well, and yeah, especially for people, I know for me, stopping the cycle of gaining or losing. Like I know before, when I used to fluctuate my weight like 50 pounds a year, I was either in one of those states, gaining or losing. And it was
Yes.
because I didn't have this mentality of this is all I could do right now and that's okay. Instead, I was doing the cycle of guilt. And, it was like, okay, I ate that cookie. I must, like, let me just start over and it'll be fine. Tomorrow I'll start, and it just, these cycles of back and forth, instead of just kind of giving yourself permission to take a day and then wake up and,
And
pull
the
the
guilt
trigger on
doesn't
the
make
next.
you feel any better. And
No.
I know I don't mean to be flippant, and I say it to people all the time when they're like, oh, I feel guilty. I ate that cookie. Every single time my response always is, seriously, I really save guilt for something violating my moral code. I'm like, we use guilt all the time. That I thought, I do not feel guilty about sitting on my booty. And it went the whole gamut of wycwyc, from fitting and fitness to getting any work done to multitasking. I'm like, I do not feel badly at all. I could, but I don't feel like I'm making an excuse. I'm stopping and I'm going to meet this choice and an awareness that it's a choice with self-acceptance and self-love, and then move forward, because the guilt
Right.
always makes you feel worse, and then it snowballs.
It snowballs. Yeah, it's a domino effect. So if you have kind of the wycwyc attitude of, I need a day, I'm going to take a day, I'm not going to feel guilty
Yes.
about not
Yeah.
going to the gym or having ice cream with the kids or whatever it might be, you just say, I'm going to take a day, I need a day not to think, not to food journal, not to go out of my way with extra steps, and just take the day. And then like the next day, you're kind of roaring to go again because you kind of
Yes, you
gave
nailed it.
yourself,
You're
yeah,
rejuvenated.
you gave yourself
I
kind of a mental
know.
break.
Yes.
Yeah, which is
I
really
know.
needed.
And I was thinking this morning, I was making my daughter's lunch, and they have benchmark testing, which I don't even really know what it is because I guess it's a Texas thing, but it's a 4-hour test, and they're trying to get the kids all nervous. It's a big deal. And I have the new wycwyc stickers I'm so excited about. And I always tuck notes into her lunch. And today I just trimmed around one of the stickers and put it on top of her lunch and zipped it up. And I thought it's the same for me as my not doing any kind of movement and just sitting and having coffee. Doing what she could, when she could, how she could on the test is not an excuse not to do well. It's an acknowledgement. Do your best. That is enough.
Yes.
And so I was super
Yeah.
excited to share that with her.
I kind of interested what her reaction is, whether or not because I feel like at a young age, I wonder if my son, I mean, of course, we pound that into our kids, right? Do your best, do your best. Like, I know I always talk during report card season where I tell him it's more important for me to see the notes from the teacher that he knows you've put in
Yes,
effort than it
yeah.
is that
Then
you
the
got
grade.
A's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if your teacher is acknowledging that you're doing your best and you put effort in and you're trying, but your grades aren't A's, then that's fine because you're going to the best of your ability. So that's one of those things where I feel like kids are still being molded into like, I don't know, appreciating that or kind of adopting that
And learning how
philosophy
to do it.
young. Yeah,
Really
without,
try.
yeah, well, so I'm curious if it's natural for her to feel that way or if she's gonna have more of an aha moment, like, oh yeah, I did do my best, like, you know what I mean? Because for us as adults,
Yes.
we kind of have these
Yeah.
aha moments. You know what? Like, I'm doing okay, I'm doing the best I can, and that's good enough. But when you were 10, you
Yes.
just do
Yeah.
your best all the time,
Yes.
without being ruined yet.
No. And I always think about what you said, and you're so right with the people looking for an excuse will always find one.
Yeah, well, whether it's perfection or
Yes.
the fact that they're tired and they need a day and they'll just let that day snowball into a week and a month and I talk about it all the time on the blog about just I really gosh, I can really capture that feeling of I'm going to start on Sunday,
Oh my gosh.
whatever,
Yes. Yeah.
starting whatever it might be done. And I would always have this like it was like I wasn't just starting one thing. I was starting like 10 things. I was going to wake up early and go for a walk. And I
Yes.
was going to start a new diet. And
Yes.
I was never going to eat a carb again. Or I was, whatever it might be. It was like always like all of these things I would pile on. And then as soon as one thing would break, like,
My food power with my
yeah,
fitness
or
pal.
it,
The
yeah,
app.
it could be like I missed my alarm, so I couldn't go for the walk before work. Then it was like, oh, I might as well order like, bacon cheeseburgers and nachos for like it was just
Yes.
I would
It
kind of
is
throw
that whole
everything
mindset.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think using people look for something to make their excuse when they're almost piling too much on their plate and they need to like throw the plate away. Like, do you know what I mean? They're like, I can't, it's too much on this plate,
Mm.
so I'm going to pick this one thing just so I can dump it and start over.
And when it
Um,
feels like we're not moving, we are moving. Like I took that day and did nothing, but it's exactly what you said. The next day I was like ready, raring to go with everything from work to fitness because I took the break. So even when we feel like we're staying still, we're still moving forward. As
yes.
long as we're not self-sabotaging, just by sitting there, yeah,
Yeah.
I realized I needed a break. I was doing what I could when I could, and sometimes that's nothing. And it was such an eye-opening thing for me.
Yeah, and it's funny because for me, for the running, that's how I feel. I'm like, I need a break. I need a break. My body needs a break. It's too much, and then I'm kind of already looking forward to spring so I can have like new weather and I can run. But it's like, why
New
torture
weather.
myself? Why torture myself now
Yes.
when I feel it's not, it won't do my soul any good right now. Like I'm just kind of accepting. Where I think a few years ago, even I would have been like feeling not guilty. Maybe guilty is the right word, but more like I would be feeling kind of down on myself, like, oh, why aren't I running as much? Last year at this time, I ran X number of miles a week, and last year I would be
I
comparing
should
myself.
be.
I should, yes. I'd be like, I should really be running, and why
Yes.
aren't I running anymore? But now I'm kind of like, I'm not into it right now. I'm doing other things, and that's
And I
okay.
think that the older we get, and I hope that people start coming to this younger, we really know if we're lying to ourselves. Whether you really feel like I don't want to run because I'm just feeling really lazy, I don't want to do it. Where you're like, no, it's not time for me to run right now. I'm gonna do other things.
Yeah, the whole being honest with yourself.
We really know.
You get better at it, I think, or worse. I guess like some people
It
get.
waxes and
My
wanes.
husband, my husband might be getting worse at it, but yeah, if you're really you, if you don't lie to yourself, I feel like almost there's no way to fail. I mean, it might take you longer to reach goals, but if you literally say to
Yes.
yourself, and if you're truly honest and you kind of face your feelings all the time, that's why I always used to think that the blog was such a big help for me because I wouldn't let myself walk away from it. And so when I was losing the weight, and it was the first time ever I had an experience where I had significant and steady weight loss, and it didn't feel like something that was going to be temporary. And
Yes.
one of the big differences was I think because I finally forced myself to be honest with myself, and I did it through words on the blog. But I mean, you could do it any like I wouldn't let my how do I say this? Wouldn't let myself turn my head on myself. I wouldn't let my, you know what I mean? I wouldn't
You're
let myself
right.
kind of
Yes.
go, oh, my fitness pal's not accurate, so I'm over that. And then I'd be like, no, I really, let me write about why I'm walking away right now. And then it would stop me from walking away. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yes. No, you're right. And I think it's what you said. And I like, I don't know who says this, but everybody all the time, feel all the feelings, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
when you do, you really can't avoid being honest with yourself. You may get to your goals more slowly because you're plotting and feeling and the whole way. But when you're being honest with yourself and not seizing those excuses, eventually you'll get there.
Right.
I was excited. It was such an eye-opening moment for me.
It was. Okay. I don't know. Do we have any more things to talk about with excuses? I'm trying to
Of
think of
course, I've
just
got
one.
like a million things going in my head that I want to bring up, and I'm thinking, okay, not for this podcast. There's a
I know.
television show. I'll have to assign it to you so that you can see it so that we can talk about called My Big Fat Fabulous Life. I'm curious if anybody else watched it. Short, very interesting woman, YouTuber, had a video that went
I
viral,
heard about
polycystic
it.
ovary syndrome.
Yes.
Very interesting, but just talking about not making excuses. And so we can talk about that later.
Yeah, that could be next week. I haven't watched it. Let me guess. Is it on Bravo?
It is. Oh, no. Yes, I do
Oh,
think it's Bravo. I was going to say it could be TLC, but it's Bravo. Yes,
I don't think I've ever
okay.
watched a show on Bravo, like
I
ever.
know. Oh my gosh, me and Andy Cohen. Okay, lay it on me. Who is the
Okay.
Wickwicker of the week?
All right. So, my pick for wycwicker of the week is someone new that I just found on Instagram.
I'm so
And
excited.
I can't express how excited I am when I see someone that I don't really know yet using the wycwick hashtag.
Yes.
So
It's almost as good as a cartoon.
it's just as good. It's just it makes me just happy. Anyway, her Instagram account is at underscore dog's best friend.
I loved that.
And the last few days she has, and I'm going to tag her when this goes live so she can see. But the last few days she had some posted some photos on Instagram, and she's trying CrossFit. So I have a little soft spot for people who go out of their comfort zone and give CrossFit a try because it's something that I did and went out of my comfort zone for and have fallen in love. But 2 days ago she Instagrammed and she said, "Hopeful period. CrossFit day one is complete." And so I thought, and
Oh,
for me, I could like feel her. I don't know, because I had a day one at CrossFit too, and I thought it was so scary to walk through the door. And
yes.
that is I mean, that's like one of the biggest wick things you could do is just get yourself through the door of anything. It doesn't, not have to be,
Yes.
get yourself
No,
out the
but that new
door for your first
situation.
run
Yes.
or get yourself on,
Walk.
yeah, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Then I think it was the next day she wrote "Remembering Dirty Girl," which is a run, like a mud run, right? Thinking about change and how far I've come on this journey to recover. So again, recognizing that she might not be where she used to be,
Yes. That's
but which
awesome.
is great, not to compare yourself to your old self, and then just acknowledging the progress you've made without, I don't know, padding it with onlys and buts and what ifs and when I
And
used to,
before yes. Oh my
yes,
gosh.
yes, yes, which is great. And then her third Instagram, again, these were like in a series kind of mixed in with other Instagrams that she sent, but Awesome Sky post CrossFit where I completed my second workout of the day with child weights, but hey, it's wycwyc.
Oh,
And
I
I thought,
love that.
I thought, oh my God, she's totally getting it and embracing it. And I mean, I wish she almost didn't even acknowledge that she used light weights because it doesn't matter. But I totally get it. And the fact that, I don't know, people will start to shift that mentality from using the word only. You know, I only went for a walk instead of a run, which is one
Yes.
that
No
you always use.
qualifiers.
Yeah, no
Yes.
qualifiers. But if people start qualifying it as I only went for a walk, but wycwyc, I feel like they kind of negate it, the
Yes.
only a little bit at least, because they're at least acknowledging that they did what they could, and that is a win. You know, that's a step forward, which is great.
Oh my gosh, and it goes back to the baby steps towards changing that self-talk, all of it. Okay, I've
Yeah.
got to tell you now, I'm dying to know why the Instagram handle, and does she have a dog? I'm curious to know
I'm
about
going to assume
all
she
of
has a
that.
dog.
So tell
Um,
us, hopefully she'll comment and let us know what her dog is, as you could just hear
yeah,
my dog in the background. Sorry about that, the golden doodle.
that's okay. That
This
is
was
okay.
awesome.
Very
I've
cool.
gotten my
Yeah,
mojo back.
I know. We could just talk every day and not actually have any structure to the podcast.
I bet some people
Sometimes,
would really like that.
yes, we probably should have more structure and not be so chatty and
But I love it because I definitely, yeah, we keep it timely with what's happening with us, the no excuses, all of it. So I think
yes,
it was
there's no
good.
excuse, and there's no excuse this week for us not to. Yet again, we had another week where the podcast almost didn't happen.
Yeah, but we did it.
I know snow days and President's Day and kids being off from school and crazy schedules. We still made it happen, which is exciting. One week we actually have an actual scheduled podcast recording time. We'll
And
let
we
you
will
know when
not
that.
do it. Yes.
We'll let you know when that happens.
Until then,
Until then, we're gonna go. She's
wick
gonna throw
wick.
the wick wick.
I know I did do the wick wick
The
song.
wick
It
wick. I
doesn't look
can't.
very good on video.
How do you do it without? Do you have? Can you do it?
Is that my skill? That might be my
That's
gift.
crazy. I have to do that. That's crazy.
I'm going to get on America's Got Talent. So if you watch the video, that's my gift. It'll be on. Oh.
I'll have to take a screenshot of this and make it the image for the post so people can see what
There
we're
you
looking.
go. Okay.
All right, we're gonna
Till
go.
next week. Wick wick.
Thanks for listening. Wick wick.
Bye.
Yay, we're done. We did it. All right.
That was awesome. Oh, and I'm
It
going to
was
go
fun.
pick up from school.
Oh,
Humming
perfect.
was so loud. Sorry.
No,
At
but
the
only
end.
like 2 barks at the end. I didn't hear. I didn't hear him in the beginning.
This was so fun.
Yes. You know what we could do probably in the future is have more of a running theme and then hit it from different. Well, when the
Oh,
book
that
comes
was
out,
really
that's what we're gonna
good.
do with chapters though. Like I can't wait till the book comes out
Yes.
so we have the chapters to kind of mimic. So that will be really fun.
But I
Um,
think right now it does lock people into us as people, which the book doesn't do.
right. Yeah, we don't talk about us at all in the book, which is great.
No. Okay, I'm going to run to get Emma. Take your time with this,
Okay.
no pressure.
Yeah. No. This I should get it up in the next hour or so. It shouldn't take me that long.
We are
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
Goodbye.
what I do. Bye.
I'm going to take this